a dope rapper, but I think sometimes Meek falls a victim to I have to explain myself because they be playing with my name.
Yeah.
And the more he responds, the more they.
You don't mind me asking, and dude, like, I want you to feel as comfortable on this podcast. Yeah. So if there's anything I ever ask you, or you're like, hey, I don't want to talk.
So here we are. Michael B. Jordan, who just won the Best Actor Oscar on March 15th, only the 6th black actor to ever do it, has come forward with what he says he witnessed inside Steve Harvey's world. According to Jordan, everything Steve Harvey has built as a Christian family man and marriage expert is a cover for secret conduct with men. A cover Jordan says he personally witnessed, including seeing Harvey with Diddy at private parties. Then came the invitation. Jordan says Harvey tried to recruit him into those parties too. And then the detail that changes everything. Jordan says Harvey forced his own stepdaughter, Lori, to be with Diddy, knowing exactly what Diddy had done. That is not one accusation landing softly. That is a collapse on 4 fronts at the same time. And Harvey has not said a single word in response.
Now, I'm a Christian, but I ain't that good a Christian.
Now stop there and think about who is making these claims. This is not a rival comedian with a decades-old grudge. Jordan dated Marjorie Harvey for 18 months, from November 2020 to June 2022. He was inside that house. He had access to family dynamics the rest of us only speculate about. And when that relationship ended, he went completely silent. At the time, that silence looked like loss, like the quiet of someone who got left behind. But look at it now. Jordan is standing on an Oscar stage. And that same silence looks completely different. It looks like dignity, like a man who did not need to say anything back then because he was quietly building something that would eventually speak for him. Meanwhile, Harvey is the one who is silent today. And his silence does not look like strength. It looks like a man who has realized he cannot win. Let me walk you through why this hits so much harder than anything we have seen before. Jordan claims Harvey's marriage to Marjorie is a cover. That is not a cheating rumor. That is a direct hit on the entire brand Harvey has spent decades constructing. The books, the motivational speeches, the television segments where he sat across from people and told them how to keep a marriage healthy. If that cover claim stands, every piece of advice he has ever given becomes retroactive fraud. You cannot disprove a claim like that without proving a negative about your private life, which is impossible to do publicly. So Harvey is stuck. He either says nothing and lets Jordan's version sit there unchallenged, or he speaks and invites a level of scrutiny he has never faced before. That is not a public relations problem. That is structural. And then there is the Diddy piece.
Oh, let's go to that. Listen to me, man. Just because a person sits on the show and don't hesitate or say or and speaks eloquently, that don't mean it's true. That just don't mean.
Jordan says he witnessed Harvey with Diddy at secret parties. Not a rumor, not something he heard through a friend. He says he saw it. And after witnessing it, Jordan says Harvey tried to bring him into those same parties. That moves Harvey from someone who was there to someone who actively recruited. Think about who Diddy is right now. He is serving a 50-month federal sentence. That is not an allegation. That is a conviction. So when Jordan ties Harvey directly to Diddy's private world and says Harvey then tried to bring in his own daughter's boyfriend, the implication is not just hypocrisy. It is association with a convicted felon's operation. And it is recruitment. Harvey was not just present. He was trying to expand whatever was happening in those rooms. Now, the forced dating allegation. This is the one that should make you feel sick. Jordan says Harvey forced Lori to be with Diddy, despite knowing what Diddy had done. Let that sit there for a moment. Harvey has built a significant part of his public identity around being a protective father. The family man who looks out for his children. The dad who approves or disapproves of who his daughter dates. If he knew about Diddy's history and still pushed his stepdaughter toward him, that is not a bad look. That is a complete inversion of everything he claims to stand for. Lori has not spoken. She has not confirmed or denied anything. But her silence right now is its own kind of pressure because everyone is watching to see if she breaks. And if she does, if she says, Yes, my father knew, and he pushed me toward that situation anyway. There is no defense Harvey can offer.
So they in that generation. And I asked them, what is it? And they said, Dad, you clickbait. He said, you clickbait. Yeah. He said, you one of the most viral people in your age group out there. He said, Dad, every clip on Family Feud got you on it. Yeah. You clickbait. If they can take your face and put it on anything, you become clickbait. He said, and that's what it is, you know.
Look at the timing of all this. Jordan won that Oscar on March 15th. He stood on that stage and thanked the lineage of black actors who came before him. He became the face of a film called Sinners that broke the all-time record with 16 nominations. That is not a minor career milestone. That is the kind of achievement that changes how the entire industry sees you. And at the exact moment Jordan reached the absolute peak of Hollywood, he revealed all of this. The man Harvey could have dismissed as his daughter's ex-boyfriend is now the man with an Oscar and first-hand witness testimony that Harvey cannot attack. You cannot call an Oscar winner a liar without looking desperate. You cannot dismiss someone who dated your daughter for 18 months as an outsider with an agenda. Jordan said no to Harvey's recruitment, and he won an Oscar. Harvey participated, and now his house is collapsing. So where is Harvey? He has not responded. Not on his show, not on social media, not through a representative, not a single word. That used to be his strength. Wait out the noise. Let stories fade while you stay above the fray. But this is not a story that ends. This is a story that gets worse every day. Because every day of silence, Jordan's claims stand uncontested. No denial, no explanation, no alternative version of events. Just silence. And in the absence of his voice, the public fills in the gaps. Not with charity, but with suspicion.
And views. The universe does not differentiate. It just gives you clicks and views. So now, here they come the rest of them. And now you got clicks and views.
My question to that, though, is...
And while Harvey sits quiet, other pressure sources are already moving. Diddy has an appeal hearing scheduled for May. That is not speculation. That is a scheduled court action. That hearing could produce documents, witness lists, and testimony, any of which could name Harvey. He has no control over that. The court does not need his permission to release information. So Harvey is sitting there, waiting for a legal proceeding he cannot stop, hoping nothing surfaces that makes his situation even worse. That is not a strategy. That is surrender disguised as patience. Then there is Lori. She has not said anything, but she is the one person who could confirm or deny the most damaging part of Jordan's claim. If she ever decides to speak, she does not need evidence. She does not need documents. She just needs to tell her own story. And if that story matches what Jordan has already said, Harvey is finished. Not slowly, immediately. Marjorie could also break. If the marriage is a cover, as Jordan claims, what reason does she have to stay once that cover is exposed? She could leave. She could make a statement. She could confirm things privately that eventually become public. Every day Harvey stays silent. He is betting that none of these people speak. That is a dangerous bet.
When it comes to dating, Lori ain't got a damn thing. I got.
And we need to talk about what was already out there before Jordan ever opened his mouth. Because once you see a pattern, you cannot pretend it is a coincidence. Go watch the Mark Curry clips from 1999. Then watch Steve Harvey perform the same Halloween joke in 2005. Same setup, same punchline. Curry has been saying for years that Harvey took his material. Harvey told him to grow up, but the footage does not need anyone's commentary. 2 performances, years apart. You decide. Then there is Gary Owen. He worked on Harvey's talk show and later said 3 episodes of Hip Hop Squares paid him 4 times what 2 weeks on Harvey's show paid him. 4 times. His dressing room was the size of a closet. No bathroom, a broken desk. He was paid SAG minimum wage. Owen was careful to say this might not have been Harvey directly, but the people running things behind him. Still, the question writes itself. If the brand is about lifting people up, why do so many people who worked with him tell the same kind of story? Now bring in Bernie Mac. This one stings differently because Bernie Mac is gone. He passed away in 2008, but before he passed, he told GQ magazine that Harvey tried to sabotage his movie roles, including Ocean's 11. Harvey denied it and said Bernie later denied saying it. But then Ed Lover came forward and said Bernie told him directly that Harvey hated on him. Cedric the Entertainer confirmed there was real tension between the two on the Kings of Comedy tour, calling them both alpha males who saw things differently. And Bernie Mac's own daughter, J.E. Niece McCullough, has publicly said she appreciated Cat Williams for giving her father the respect he did not always get when he was alive. That is not a comedian with a grudge. That is family. So stack them up. Mark Curry with visual evidence. Gary Owen with financial and working condition details. Bernie Mac with second-hand testimony from people who were in the room. Each one by itself could be waved away. But when you lay them out in a line, they stop looking like isolated incidents. They start looking like a career-long pattern. The only thing missing was a witness with enough authority to make people pay attention. That witness turned out to be Michael B. Jordan, holding an Oscar and speaking from inside the family. He did not invent the pattern. He just made it undeniable.
It is about Michael B. He became the sixth black performer to win Best Actor at the Oscars, joining a list that includes Sidney Poitier, Denzel Washington, Jamie Foxx, Forrest Whitaker, and Will Smith himself. What does this mean for Michael B?
Now look at the legal clock that Harvey cannot control. Diddy is serving a 50-month federal sentence, and a federal court does not care about Steve Harvey's brand or his silence. That hearing could produce documents, witness lists, or testimony that names him. He has no say in this. The court does not need his permission. So while Harvey sits there hoping this all blows over, a judge and a legal team are moving forward with something that could force his name into public record, whether he likes it or not. You cannot spin your way out of a court document. Here is where the trap gets even tighter. When Jordan and Lori broke up in June 2022, Jordan went completely quiet. At the time, that silence looked like loss, like the quiet of someone who got left behind. But after the Oscar, that same silence looks like dignity, like a man who did not need to say anything because he was building something that would eventually speak for him. Harvey is the one who is silent now, but he is not ascending. He is not winning an Oscar next month. His silence does not look like strength. It looks like a man who knows that any response will make things worse. If he speaks, he either admits everything or denies it to an Oscar winner who says he saw it with his own eyes. If he stays quiet, Jordan's claims stand uncontested day after day. There is no clean exit. And Harvey is not alone in this kind of trap. Look at what is happening around Diddy and Usher. Usher recently told Forbes he has nothing negative to say about Diddy, calling him misrepresented and praising his contributions as a black entrepreneur. This is the same Usher who told Howard Stern years ago that he saw wild and curious things while living with Diddy as a teenager. Things he said he would not let his own children near. So which version is true? 50 Cent is already circling. He announced a documentary about Diddy and Usher and donated $500,000 from the project to domestic violence organizations. He has been implying that Usher is hiding what Diddy did to him. Whether that is true or not, the pressure is building around everyone connected to this world. Harvey is just one node in a network that is starting to crack. And networks do not crack quietly.
I'm not talking about him particularly, but if you go on a podcast to degrade and belittle another group of people, that's a little move to me. That's just real to me. I don't. You know, if y'all ask me on the show, man, I don't want to talk negative about nobody. That's why I say, man, like, I would apologize to him, or I would say, ask the brother what's wrong, because I really want to know, you know. But
think about what happens if Lori finally speaks. She has not said anything yet, but she is the one person who could confirm the most damaging part of Jordan's claim. If she says, yes, my father knew about Diddy, and he pushed me toward that situation anyway, there is no defense Harvey can offer. Not silence. Not a carefully worded statement. Nothing. Marjorie could also break. If the marriage is a cover, as Jordan claims, what reason does she have to stay once that cover is exposed? She could leave. She could make a statement. She could confirm things privately that eventually become public. Every day Harvey stays silent. He is betting that none of these people speak. But silence does not make them loyal. It just gives them time to decide what they want to do. And time is not on his side. There is also the question of what else is sitting in those old video archives. The Mark Curry clip resurfaced. The Gary Owen interviews resurfaced. The Bernie Mac interview resurfaced. Every time someone new speaks, older material gets pulled back into the light. That is the thing about the internet. Nothing stays buried forever. And right now, there is a concentrated effort to dig. Cat Williams started this current wave in January 2024. Since then, piece after piece has surfaced. The Oscar win was March 15th. We are still in the immediate aftermath. The full ripple effects have not even hit yet, and nobody knows what the next resurfaced clip will show.
The social media fodder was upset with you for the way you finally responded to him. You mentioned his height and what you could do if there was ever an altercation. They said they felt like what he said about you was true because of the nature of your reaction.
Oh, well, see, first of all, I ain't really good at social media, so I didn't even know that was out there. But they can, like, really kiss most of the corners of my when you say stuff like...
Harvey's leaked memo to his staff, the one where he told them not to approach him in dressing rooms, hallways, or his makeup chair, already showed a gap between the public image and the private reality. That memo was confirmed. He admitted he sent it. That by itself was already a crack. But now that crack has become a canyon. The man who told millions how to have healthy marriages is accused of living a lie. The man who presented himself as a father figure is accused of exploiting his own daughter. The man who controlled his image for decades is now watching that image become the very thing that traps him. And the memo is just one piece of paper. It is the accumulation that matters. What happens next is not up to Harvey anymore. It is up to Lori. It is up to anyone else who was in those rooms and decides they do not want to stay quiet. Harvey cannot undo Jordan's Oscar. He cannot hide whatever family fractures are already spreading. He cannot make Diddy's hearing disappear. All he can do is sit there in silence and hope nothing else breaks. But silence is not safety. Not when the person holding the story is an Oscar winner who used to date your daughter. Not when the clock is ticking toward a court date you cannot control. Not when your own family members have motives to speak. Harvey is not waiting for the storm to pass. He is waiting to see which wall collapses first.
And you gotta protect the brand. They don't do that no more. So you come on my show, you spread all these lies about some people that I call my so-called friends, and I just let you sit there and check it. And because your podcast had so many views on that right there, your next guest is the same type of guest. Because now you want your money to be made off clicks and views as somebody's...
So where does that leave us? Harvey built an empire on marriage advice, family values, and being the man who has life figured out. He wrote books, gave speeches, and sat on television telling millions of people how to live. And now an Oscar winner who used to date his daughter says the whole thing was a cover. That word changes everything. A cover implies intention. It implies planning. It implies that the public image was not just aspirational. It was a deliberate misdirection. And the pattern from Mark Curry, Gary Owen, and Bernie Mac suggests this was not a one-time thing. It suggests a career built on managing perception rather than living up to it. And perception, once it starts to slip, does not usually stop. So Lori could speak at any time. Other witnesses from those parties could come forward. 50 Cent's documentary could drop new material. Harvey is not in control anymore. He is waiting. And waiting is not a strategy when the walls are closing in from every direction. So what do you think happens first? Does Lori break her silence? Does the Diddy hearing force Harvey's name into public record? Or does Harvey finally speak, knowing that whatever he says will only make things worse? Drop your thoughts in the comments. This story is far from finished. Talk soon.